is probably at a bar with his New York friends celebrating. I mean, just celebrating. Welcome to the Gary Schaefer Sports Show.
Yes, I'd like to welcome my guests on the show tonight, Andre Peterson and Robert Ford. Thank you for joining me on the Gary Schaefer Sports Topics tonight. Robert, I'd like for you to, tell us how your weekend went and, how'd you do today? What's going on with you?
Man, hey, just watched the wildest ending maybe in NBA Finals history. Incredible, right? Unbelievable. For those of us that won 7 games in this NBA Finals, I think that's out the window. We might be lucky to get 6. 7 games is out the window. We needed the Spurs to win this game if we wanted 7 games. The Spurs only 30 points. They scored 76 points in the first half, only 30 points in the second half. Obviously, got to give the Knicks a lot of credit there. No offensive flow for the Spurs in the second half of that game. Crazy game. New York City is going berserk right now.
Well, the Spurs with their young coach,
and their young team too.
What's that?
Young coach and a young team too.
Yeah, inexperienced, and would it have been a different ball game if, like, say, Pop had been in that certain situation? I think absolutely he was that type of a coach. But when you get a young coach like that, just they let him get back in.
Yeah, and look, this is not the first time we've seen this story in the playoffs out of the Knicks, right? We've seen them come back from 23 down against the Cavs in game 1, and that was like 7 minutes left in the game, and they were down by 23, right? So it's not the first time we've seen the Knicks make this kind of series come back in the playoffs. So we knew they were capable of this. But ultimately, the Spurs are a young team, right? They up 29. Oh, we got this in the bag, right? Complacency sets in with a young team like that. But like I said, you can't take anything away from what the Knicks was able to accomplish here.
This is terrible, man. They shot themselves out of the game, man, because they were hitting, they keep shooting a lot of threes. I'm still not quite sure why they keep going for threes and everything. They should definitely go for 2s so they can shoot themselves out. That's exactly what happened. So, obviously the Knicks playing good defense, like you said, Rob, but it's just a little disappointing, I guess I would say, if you're a Spurs fan, because you had another opportunity, you had them down, and they just clawed back in, and it was just, like you said, inexperience, just bad decisions toward the end, and the Knicks are, they're playing out of their minds.
I mean, San Antonio had like 2 turnovers in the first half.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
I don't know how many they ended up in the second half, but
they had about 6 in the third quarter alone, and so obviously, I mean, the Knicks' defense was also very porous in the first half, but the Spurs was moving the ball a lot better in the first half than they did in the second half too. Obviously, it goes both ways. You got to give the Knicks some of that credit, but the Spurs also did not move the ball very well offensively. They became a lot of isolation basketball in the second half.
Like I said, man, just it was pretty terrible, man. Like I said,
listen, he's got to be the shortest player on the court most of the time.
Yeah, and
I mean, he just was wheeling and dealing and making shit happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, we're not taking anything from him. It's just I think it's a little bit of both disappointment. Like I said, if you're a Spurs fan, because you had them down where you wanted them, and they clawed back in. So there's a little doubt, man. So.
Well, I've got some money on the Spurs. Come on, it's over for me.
We'll see. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, OG is definitely.
You're gonna be in trouble with Arnetta.
Yeah,
no, luckily she's a very forgiving woman. She may remind me a time or two, but
yeah.
As you well know, Rob.
Oh man.
Oh man, that was crazy. Well, like I said, let's keep this going here. This is going to be probably the shortest show.
Gina commented, "OG was the hero of that game."
Yeah,
absolutely.
I just gave her a quick shout out. Yeah, for sure. Gary, what are we going to do, Gary?
Well, let's talk some sports. What's the first topic? What do you want to go with? The first topic, the third topic? How are we going to do this?
It's your show, Gary. I'm just sitting back, man.
We got a new commissioner, a judge. I mean, an injunction so that this kid can play. And I was going over some stuff with this, and you've got this conference that they're having on this the Player College Sports Act, and Nick Saban had spoke in front of Congress, regarding this, and he was in favor of it. But there's a lot of stuff that is not, that they still have to work through. That they just don't have this whole thing. That they think that it's kind of a done deal and it's going to protect most of the stuff going forward. But with these the situation that this kid got himself in, and with this money that these college kids have, I mean, you knew something like this was going to happen. You knew there was going to be players affected with milk coming in with going into college with nothing, and then all of a sudden, what do you got? You got millions or hundreds of thousands, whatever it would be. And so you got gambling issues here, but really the discussion was financial pressures on the players, litigation, the instability of the whole thing. Let me read you a couple of pieces here that I've got pulled up. Nick Saban was in favor of this bill going forward. And then they had a bipartisan group of senators. Also, you had a lot of coaches and team representatives involved in this conference. But really what it boils down to is you've got to come up. First of all, you got to come up with a plan. They've got a base of a plan in this, Protect College Sports Act. But really, it's regarding more of the movement of coaches before a season's over. The protection of teams and players in this porthole situation and things like that. But what falls through the cracks sometimes is some of the disciplinary stuff that is going on. And this judge, I don't know. These Texas. Well, I'm not going to get into politics, so I'll just say this judge, regardless of what state he was from, made a poor decision with his injunction and allowing this guy to participate in this next season, when you've got the rest of the Big 12, other than Texas Tech, that wants want this kid to set out the season. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it feels. I'll let Rob jump on the two. My point is, like, it definitely feels like the Wild West, and right now there's no
Wild West.
Yeah, a little Kumo D reference, but it feels like there's no accountability, and this is where we have to kind of step in and draw the line, right? Because you can't gamble in sports, man. That was kind of like the sacred situation. Whenever you're gambling, doesn't matter if you're gambling on your team. Gambling is
well, and in
this
ruling that this judge laid out, their case was gambling is legal now. Now, that's where they have to have some language. They have to have some certain language, because every other advertisement on a sporting event is about these
gambling is legal, yes, Gary, but the problem is that if you're playing the game, that's when there should be drawing the line of that. That's what
I totally agree with that. I agree with you. I'm just saying that was the position that apparently is the reason why this injunction was laid out.
I still don't think we've seen the end of this story, right? I would be shocked if Brandon Sorsby plays this season for Texas Tech. Texas Tech is taking so much heat right now. I would be shocked if he's playing this season. The entire Big 12 is against Texas Tech right now.
Yeah.
I just don't see how Texas Tech survives this. At some point, they come to their senses and they cut ties with Brandon Sorsby. I just don't see how he plays this season. I really don't. And if somehow he does play, they are the favorite in the Big 12. But will the Big 12 let him play? I guess is the next thing too, right? So I just don't see this happening. At some point, I just think Texas Tech comes to its senses and say, hey, we can't play with Brandon Sorsby this season.
Well,
He bet on his own team at Indiana and Cincinnati. It's not just one time, right? So I just don't see it happening. I really don't.
Well, I hope not, because this will open Pandora's box, so to speak.
Yeah.
If
And these
that's
local
the case.
judges are letting they're making decisions because they want their school or team to win, right?
Right.
Yeah, and Ole Miss, they got the quarterback Chambliss to come back, right? And so local judge, once again, these local judges are coming through, helping their local university. The Chambliss deal, I don't mind, but this deal is ridiculous on source.
No, but then you got Alabama and Georgia, who are they've had professional athletes for long before anybody else ever even knew about it. And so you go that now they're making the we can't have this in college sports. Really? Those two teams are the ones that are going to make the holier than thou comments about this whole thing when they've been paying athletes for decades.
Yeah, like the pot calling the kettle black, right? And I see you, Duke. Yeah, football, oil money, what movie? Yeah, it's definitely, bringing back some things to remembrance, and it's pretty disappointing, Gary, because I feel like, we talk about corruption and you want to say that C word. It's just like, you got local judges getting paid off, and it just doesn't look good for the sport, man. So I don't care how you want to spin it or, act like ABC, whatever. It's just not a good look, man. So
when I dove into this, that was the first thing I thought of. I said, how could they even come to this type of a ruling on this? Incredible,
Yeah, it's just not. It's pretty.
Yeah,
so I don't know, man. So I don't like it. Again, I agree with you, Rob, in that something's gonna happen because you talk about Georgia, Nebraska boycotting, everyone's, even, K-State, Gene Taylor was like, yeah, let's refuse to play Texas Tech. And it's just like,
there are schools that are saying they won't play them.
Yeah.
I think that's what Richard's saying here.
Yeah.
And that, if for some reason they do let him play, I would love to see every team say, no, we're not playing him.
I mean, the AD from, the Red Raiders is like, we're going to, they're going to sue any school that tries to sanction them or boycott games. It's just, this is where
messy.
It's messy. Yeah. And this is what happens whenever too much money gets involved. And this is what happens whenever corruption gets in there. And it's just not a good look, man. It's not a good look for college football, man. I know this is probably the shortest show we're ever going to have. Since, Gary, I was letting you kind of take the lead here, but was there anything initially? I know just we were watching the game. We'll talk about a couple things here as far as some quick updates. And Rob, I want to talk to you about some, Giannis trade rumors and then kind of the mock draft, if you will. I do want to point out that Las Vegas, that new ballpark, how are you going to have 29 runs, something crazy like that, 31 hits, something crazy. I was looking at that whenever we were talking about the topics, man. It's just, I guess the elevation is kind of similar to Denver, right? To a Coors Field, right?
Yeah, not quite that. Las Vegas.
They said it's built like Major League. It's like bigger, but the elevation is an issue too, from what I was looking at.
Las Vegas isn't that. The elevation isn't that.
It said at 2,000 feet above
2,000
the
feet.
sea level. Yeah, it allows balls to travel further. if you will, too.
So Denver's at 5280, right? They're mile high. So Denver's 5280, Vegas is 2000, but still, even at 2,000 feet, that elevation is going to make the ball carry, right? And
well, not only that, it's not just the elevation, the temperature.
The temperature, exactly. The heat.
Yeah.
It's going to make the ball fly. And so now, when the new stadium is built, that's mainly going to be an indoor stadium, though, right? So I think it's going to be, I think it's going to depend on how the climate is inside that stadium, right? So it's not going to be an outdoor stadium. The A's are playing some games here in Vegas this week, and they're at an outdoor stadium, and the ball's just flying, right? I mean, it's going double-digit runs almost every game. And, so we'll have to see what the new ballpark looks like. Like I say, it looks like all those games are going to be indoor games. I don't even think it's going to have a retractable roof.
Since it's my show, we're going to topic 3 just real quick. I did a FanDuel over-under on Penn State and Alabama, and the over-under on both of them is 8.5 games. And then I looked at Indiana's 10.5, Oregon's at 10.5. But the real surprise one was the Buckeyes at 9.5.
Yeah, it could be scheduled, right? Now, I think the thing that's going to help Penn State out this year is they have one of the weaker schedules in the Big Ten, right? I still think Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon are the big 3 in the Big Ten, right? I think they're going to be head and shoulders above everyone else. So you look at that Oregon team, we got Dante Moore coming back at the quarterback position. You got Amari Washington at defensive tackle. You got Jamari Johnson at tight end is going to be back on that team. They got a lot of big-time players coming back. You got Ugunglier, edge rusher. So Oregon might have one of the best defensive lines in the country, one of the better quarterbacks in the country, one of the better tight ends in the country. So they're going to be loaded. Now, Ohio State, they got a lot of defensive players they got to replace. I still think they're going to be good. Julian Sands is going to be one of the better quarterbacks in the country. You got Bo Jackson, running back, Jamari Smith. It's going to be a matter of what kind of production to get on defense. Indiana, all indication the transfer quarterback from TCU is playing well. Indiana's going to have 2 really good receivers, Charlie Becker and Nick Marsh. Yep. I mean, both of those guys are projected to be first-round pick in my latest top 32, right? And so those are the big 3. I think USC will be the 4th best team in the Big Ten, and I think number 5 will be between Penn State and Michigan.
Yeah. Would you, if you were betting, would either one of you guys bet? Would you bet over or under on Penn State at 8.5?
Under for me.
Got to look at their schedule in full too.
Yeah,
they do have a weak schedule this year.
I would go under.
They open up at home against Marshall. That's a win. They on the road against Temple. That's a win. They at home against Buffalo. That's a win. At home against Wisconsin. That's a win. On the road against Northwestern. That's a win. I'm going to say they beat USC because they're at home. They lose at Michigan. They beat Purdue. They lose at Washington. They win over Minnesota. Man, Penn State could win 10 games this year. Looking at that schedule. They could win 9. I'm going to say over. They could, at worst, I see them winning 9 games.
Wow.
They could, with that schedule, I mean, they don't play Ohio State this year. They don't play Oregon. They don't play Indiana. So they don't play the big 3 at all. So I'm going to go over. I'm going to say they win at least 9 games.
Okay, what about the Alabama 8.5?
Look at their schedule.
The projections had them winning like 7 games.
Wow. Richard has them over as well. What's that? Who has them 7 games?
The computer rankings have them just winning 7 games.
Alabama?
Wow. Yeah. I don't know. That's whenever I was looking at the analytical models. That's what they were saying. What's their schedule?
I'm gonna say Alabama wins 9.
What's their schedule?
I think they lose to Georgia. I think they lose to Texas A&M, and I think they lose to LSU.
Okay. Huh.
So I got Alabama winning 9. I got Penn State winning 10, minimum of 9.
Let's see. Duke has 9 wins for who's it? Penn State. So that's over as well. That's good.
Yeah, they got East Kentucky. They got East Carolina, Kentucky, Florida State, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas A&M, LSU, Vanderbilt, Chattanooga, and Auburn. That's their schedule. So right now, you're saying they're going to win at least 9 of those, Rob?
I say they win 9. I say they lose at home to Georgia and Texas A&M, and they lose on the road against LSU.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Auburn, do you think they're gonna beat Auburn too? Okay.
I think they beat Auburn.
Okay. Florida State as well, huh? Okay.
I think they beat Florida State.
South Carolina?
I think they beat South Carolina. I think South Carolina will be improved this year, though. I really do. But I think they beat them.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was
Alabama might be starting a redshirt freshman at quarterback, Keelan Russell. All indications are he's been pretty solid in camp, but still a redshirt freshman.
They did get Elijah Haven too, by the way. So that's pretty.
Yeah.
So 5-star crew.
He's from Baton Rouge too. That one still stings.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. What's up with that?
We hope he changes his mind.
No, it's all about the money. It's all about the Benjamins, Rob. You know how that plays out.
LSU has the money. We can give it to him.
Yeah. It's all about opportunity then. If it's not about money, then it's an opportunity.
LSU will pay its football players, but it won't fix potholes on the street.
There you go. All about priorities. What you got, Gary? Where's Gary going? Where are you going, Gary?
Well, let's go with Rob's. Would you want to go with Rob's draft?
Me.
I'm asking. What did you say we wanted next? I'm getting.
We say Giannis trade updates in the draft.
Yeah, the mock draft. Yeah, let's go.
I'll talk about Giannis first, man. All indications the Miami Heat seems to be the favorite, right? And I'm not sure if I'm Milwaukee, if I like what they're offering, though. I mean, Tyler Hero, a bunch of draft picks. Looked like it'd probably be about 4 or 5 first-round picks. Khalil Ware, he's a nice young player. Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, and a bunch of first-round picks. I'm not sure if I like that deal if I'm Milwaukee, but supposedly Milwaukee might go for it, right? And Giannis wants to stay in the Eastern Conference.
Milwaukee wants those draft picks back from Portland.
That's it.
And so they are wanting a 3-team deal, and however that would play out. And if I were Portland, I wouldn't do it, because as soon as they get rid of him, if they made that trade just as you just talked about, Rob, those draft picks are going to be valuable.
Yeah. I mean, I still think the Boston Celtics is an outside shot, with Tatum or Brown. I can see the Rockets. All indications are the Thunder still does not want to part with Chet Holmgren.
That's crazy.
That is just insane to me.
Yeah. So that's, obviously that could change. And Milwaukee wants to see, obviously Milwaukee was hoping that the Knicks would lose in the finals because they feel like if the Knicks lose, the Knicks will get in the game too. But if the Knicks win, they're not going to trade anybody on their team, not to win in the championship. And so the Spurs, I think the Spurs love that young nucleus that they have. And I mean, they got a chance to be in contention for the next 10 years. So I can't see them parting ways with Harper, Castle, or definitely Wembanyama, right? And so, yeah.
They like the youngsters. They definitely have to get some more veterans in there to kind of balance out the squad because if they're not able to pull this off, they're still gonna keep that young nucleus, but they definitely need like a veteran to kind of help them, as well for sure. But no shade.
Well, if any team can come back from this type, it's this
It is
team
the Spurs.
this situation
Yeah, it is
right
the Spurs.
now.
Yeah,
because they're going to have to score more than 30 points a half. That's for sure.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But to just be absolutely unstoppable. My brother and I were watching it, and I'm saying, hey, I think my bet's a little better now. When they were up by.
Well, after Monday's game, you were thinking, man,
when they're up by 35 or whatever it was at halftime, and I'm like, hey, my bet's looking pretty good now. He says, yeah, and then
Gary, they shot themselves out the game, Gary. That's what happened. They just kept shooting threes and stuff, and I can't understand that. Again.
Well, there was no flow to the offense in the second half, and I said, part of that San Antonio's got to blame themselves, and the other half of it, you got to give the Knicks credit to it. They were moving the ball. They were hitting threes in the first half, but they were moving the ball to create open threes, which they did not do in the second half in that game.
They were shooting contested threes, off balance threes,
no flow
threes. You're right. It wasn't that open man getting a nice square up look, hitting it. It was a different type of three, and they just weren't hitting them. And then, of course, the turnovers started to catch up with them.
They're not getting
like turnovers do in a game, and you tend to see that when you see a team that's, is averaging so many turnovers a game, and they only have a couple, in the first half. That's gonna average out. It's just like we've seen this time and time again, and I've seen it with the Blazers this year, where they played well, they hit their threes. But it was just like we talked about. It was movement and uncontested threes, and then they just push threes up the second half and end up losing the damn game. And you see that from teams, and the Knicks are that team that you just absolutely cannot do that against.
Yeah,
because they always, just like you guys said, you made a believer out of me. The
New York Knicks are one game away from breaking a 53-year curse.
1973, right? That's the last time they won.
And as soon as that crowd really got into it, I could see that Spurs team did not handle that well at all.
Yeah.
They even Wemby, missing little shots, that pass out of bounds, all these things, these turnovers and stuff that happen. And that, like you said, they were talking about.
They got sloppy.
Yeah. Now, if they would have put any real movement in that second half, we would be talking about a series that's tied up.
There's a state.
If you're the Spurs, do you offer De'Aaron Fox, Devin Vassell, Champagnie, and first-round picks for Giannis?
Cool.
You still have Dylan Harper, you still have Victor, and you still have Castle, and you add Giannis to that mix.
Ooh.
That may be a good move, man. That may be a good move.
But you're giving up on you trading Vassell, you trading Fox, and you trading Champagnie.
I've got some draft picks coming up. I do have.
I would go for it.
Yeah, I would do that too.
I would go for it.
They got the 22nd pick. I want to say, Rob, or 21st.
I think they have two first.
They got two first rounds. I know. I remember whenever mock drafts, I know they were picking right.
Yeah, Richard, New York came back to win that game.
Yeah.
No, so Spurs have the 20th pick in this draft.
20th. Okay, that's all they have
in the first round.
Yeah.
And they got some picks at the top of the second. They got 35 overall.
Again, remember
Got
Jalen
42
Brunson was a
overall.
second-round pick. If we forgot, he was number 31st pick. But I'm going to say really quick, you live by the sword.
Richard said that's too much to give up.
I mean, Giannis is, you still have, Castle. You still got Harper. You still have, De'Aaron Fox.
But
Giannis
you think about it, outside of Wemby, the Spurs play a small lineup.
Yeah.
Because if you look at their starting lineup, they're playing Fox and Castle at guard. They're playing Vassell and Champagny at forward. I mean, those are basically
what's that backup center's name?
Cornette. Yeah.
For San Antonio.
Yeah, Cornette.
And
but to get Giannis, you're giving Victor Wembanyama somebody with some size that can protect him a little bit.
Yeah. That's a good look.
Yeah, and the way they're playing with Victor or even their backup center in there, they have them kind of roaming in that middle, and they'll go at the second string guy.
Yeah.
But they stop and turn around, and Victor's a big deterrent in there. What is he? 7'5",
7'5", yeah.
7'5".
Yep.
What's his wingspan?
Like 9 feet, something crazy like that. Yeah,
crazy.
That's right. That is my distant relative, Duke. Hey, I'm just gonna say this: when it comes to threes and whatnot, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I'm a little disappointed in a team like the Spurs that they don't utilize like the great Tim Duncan to he was just the king of the backboard shot and just kind of like the big fundamental man, and that's one thing that's a little slightly disappointing because again they shot themselves out of the game. And there's a couple times go and get that that Tim Duncan shot was pretty much automatic. Now, granted, I know
Tim Duncan, he was.
Go ahead.
He was that guy who was just fundamentally sound. He didn't make any turnovers.
Didn't talk trash.
He wasn't flashy.
He would eat you up though. You look up. He had like 20 points.
You got to see the interview of Kevin Garnett talking about Tim Duncan. It's hilarious.
Yeah. You're not
Kevin Garnett talking about, man, he would talk so much trash to Tim Duncan and try to get under his skin, and Duncan just wouldn't say nothing. He said Duncan would just come down and whip him.
As you just said that. Yeah, he was the most.
Who was saying that?
Garnett said he was so frustrated you couldn't get under his skin.
Well, and Garnett was no joke himself. So for him to say that, But that's the way. Now I saw
Tim Duncan that shot. They used to call me backboard forward growing up.
They did because you always threw it over the backboard.
I was waiting for that.
Bank shot, backboard forward. I always know about that.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, Rob, because that's the only thing I felt a little disappointed because I felt like the Spurs, like Richard said, you got a guy that's 9 foot, go in the paint, man. I mean, and I know you can kind of,
but he's more of a slasher than a post-up guy.
We know that, Rob. We know that. I know, but it's like a waste. You got that whole history behind you, man.
And that's really
they don't have a guy that can post up people on their team.
See, and that's he could be a post-up guy.
Mm-hmm.
He could be, especially when you've got a guy that was the best at it in
your backyard.
That's exactly what you were talking about.
But is he strong enough to be a post-up guy?
God, he seems to be.
Well, I mean, again,
you see him push that little guard down by the face the other game.
So this is where, and maybe this is like, get off my lawn. I'm old. This is where you kind of work off of, like Hakeem Olajuwon was kind of the king of the dream shake, mid, do a couple moves. You can go up and under. Hell, even Kevin McHale did some crazy up and under and long ass arms. He do some crazy things too. And it's just kind of knowing how to score in the post, man. And I think that's definitely a lost art, again, because everyone's enamored with the 3-point shot. And like you said, unless you're a pretty accurate 3-point shooter, there's times whenever, hey, you go down the court, you miss. All right, you miss. All right, let's go for a quick 2. It's not pretty, but let's go and get a solid high percentage shot, right? And then that's what I'm thinking as I'm watching this game, and then the Knicks, they're only giving you one shot, right? You miss, there's no one is getting the offensive rebounds. That happens countless possessions. And so again, good defense, one shot, you miss. Knicks are going back, they're putting pressure on you. And Rob, like I said, you do give them credit. Same thing, like you said, Gary. It's like, but at the end of the day, you're like, guys, man, if the shot ain't falling, you only scored 30 points, man. That is not a good look.
The stars are going to always get the blame. Wemby's got to find a way to take over that game in the second half.
He's got the skill set.
Yep. He had 24 points tonight, 9 of 25 from the score. So from the field. So when I look at that, you look at the box score and you say Wemby's got 24 points, and you say, oh, well, he got his points, yeah. But with the Knicks made him a volume scorer, which means he had to get a lot of shots in order to get those 24 points. So 9 out of 25, 2 out of 8 from 3. He got 13 rebounds, which was good. He got 3 blocks in the game.
And Richard, I hear you when you said, Wemby's too skinny. He ain't got the muscle. He is stronger than what I realized.
He is.
I don't think he's not.
He's got some definition.
Yeah, he's definitely not a Chet Holmgren skinny.
There you go. Who was the other guy? Was Sean Bradley? Who was the other guy that was really super skinny?
Sean Bradley. Sean Bradley was smaller than Wemby.
Was that the guy? Remember him? Remember how skinny he was?
Manu Bol was 7'7".
Yeah, man.
And the one thing that Wemby's got is he got some dog in him. He does. Just like he was, he really does. And I mean, he's talking some shit. He's getting in their heads. He's touching his head, and then he gets an elbow he gets that flagrant foul, and
that's Robertson. Yeah,
put him shoulder, and
Alvarado was hanging on his on his feet and legs, and on his, and it's getting bad, but he does have some fight in him too, like you said, Gary, Rob. That's good to see that as well. But I think every season is going to be a learning season for him, because he's going to go into the off season. You know what? I got to put some more weight on, and I think he's just so long and lanky too. Once he gets kind of the inside-outside dominance, it's going to be an interesting situation. But he has to put that work in, because he can hit some threes, and now if he can score kind of mid-range and maybe hit a couple of, he's hitting a couple of those, jumpers, or if he adds a spin or he adds like a little up and under or some finger roll stuff. I mean, the sky's the limit, man. The dude is uber talented.
Yeah.
That's the thing, so we'll see how his progression works, man. But, right now, we thought about the hook shot, man. I mean, even the sky hook, Richard, that is the most unblockable shot, and I'm still surprised till this day no youngster wants to practice the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar skyhook. Who's that?
It's unblockable.
Look it up. Look at that up.
If Wemby masters the skyhook, the shot is unblockable. Especially
You don't think somebody has ups and Robin has blocked it
with
out?
With that extension, I mean, it's unblockable.
You don't think somebody has the ups to kind of just block it out the air?
Well,
no. Against Wemby?
With that length and the way your body is positioned.
I'm just asking because I brought this point in my bar and like, everyone's like eating me like, nah, man. Too many good athletes. I'm like, I don't know. I think
nope.
It's pretty unblockable.
I don't see anyone in the league that can block that shot right now in this league.
Yeah,
because the way you position your body, you got your whole frame that's protecting you.
Yeah, you're kind of coming up,
and then you're extending.
Yeah,
it's like, not impossible, but it's a hard shot to block.
I hear you. I'm with you guys. I was just like I said. The advocate was like, folks thought I was crazy. Like, man, they got too many athletes. There's no way we can do a hook shot now. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I disagree, but these youngsters were kind of talking about.
First of all, he's 7'5", so he's going to have his ball, up here somewhere, right? When he starts, he's going to go up like this.
He would do the knee, right? He'd do the knee in the air, and he would just come up, and his arm would be extended. He would just like, and you couldn't stop that.
He's shooting, no way. He's taller than Kareem.
Yeah.
So he's going to be always shooting. Sometimes Kareem had to shoot flat on that, depending on where he was. This guy's going to be shooting down on it.
And he's still one of the leading scorers, right, in the league based upon that. I think he's one of the top scorers, right? And if you look at his stats, he still is probably, let me look up his stats. He's still pretty high up there, I want to say, as far as like still one of the leading scorers almost 40-something years later, right?
Kareem, I think he's still the second all time.
Score.
Yeah.
Let me see where he's at. Yeah.
Yeah, he's second all time.
I think he's second
He
behind
is
LeBron.
second all time, and that's due to he's leading all time scorers. You know who first is? You know who first is?
Yeah, LeBron.
There it is. Yep. Karl
Yeah.
Malone is up there too. That is crazy.
Yeah. Well, you know, all three of those guys played until their 40s too.
Yeah. Yeah. Wrong.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think the point, if everyone needs to look up, and then, I don't think, Kareem was shooting threes for sure.
No.
So
No.
he was based. That's my point is that
I've
he
seen him
scored
hit
all those
him, but he
points.
don't take them. He may take one
He scored
every
all those
10
points,
games.
hitting sky hooks and stuff like that. He's until this day, the second leading scorer.
And Kareem could run the floor too, especially in his prime.
Yeah.
He
Now-
could run the floor and finish slam dunks on the break too.
I'll back up what Richard said. The only one that could block that sky hook was Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah. You got some good.
And he did quite a few times.
Well, it's
I
a
watched
timing
him do
thing.
it.
It was,
I watched
But
him do
Chamberlain, Chamberlain was the Shaq of the NBA back then too.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was. I watched him on a highlight block it in one possession 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, there you go. Like you said, you got to be a mutant. Robert, we're supposed to be a little.
And there's no Wilt Chamberlain in this league. Chet Holmgren, if he was a little more athletic,
I'll keep picking
and a
on
little
Chet,
more,
man.
and a little, because you got to be right up on that guy.
Yeah.
And and Wemby's strong enough to push Chet Holmgren away from him as he's going up with that shot.
Now
You've got to be strong enough to not only battle through that, but have that enough height and then enough vertical leap.
right there it is.
Block a shot like that.
So I think it's timing, because whenever you're watching it and he kind of like makes that move, you have to time it and then be able to jump at the right time and have the length to get to it, right? So it's definitely an angle situation too. So if you've seen the guy play a couple times, I'm sure you're probably gonna get a couple of those. He's gonna get his for sure. But ultimately, I think we agree that it's probably still tough no matter how you spin it, man. So and he scored a ton of points, man. So kudos to the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, man. And I don't understand why folks aren't copying this move, man, because that would be
Kareem is a beast, 6-time MVP. I think he's third best player of all time in my book for sure.
100%. Rob, let's get to the we're kind of inching closer to the NBA draft here, 23rd and 24th.
June 23rd.
So again, we're kind of going through a couple of these different mocks, and the top 4 are always the top 4. It's kind of after that where things get a little dicey. And I think you got all these rumors as far as this, and this team wants here, so kind of give me your thoughts. Is there going to be some movement? I know the OKC is looking to make some moves to try to move up, and you hear that the Clippers are making some moves to kind of, trade down, and it feels like there's a lot of different rumors out here. So let's kind of get this draft, kind of get your thoughts for sure.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Pretty much the same top 4. DeBanza, who was at the game tonight, I have him going number 1 to Washington. Darren Peterson, if healthy, could be a freakish player as well. I have him going number 2 to Utah. Memphis, Cam Boozer. Caleb Wilson is a guy to watch to me as a possible guy that can move up in this draft. I think possibly even as high as number 2. Teams are really impressed with his maturity. And his upbringing, things of that nature. Good ball player, had a really good head-to-head matchup against Boozer. So watch Caleb Wilson. But right now I got him at number 4, but he's a sleeper to move up in this draft. Your guy Andre, man, I keep moving him up. But Dave Maurer, I got him going number 5 to the Clippers right now, right?
I hate that with a passion. Why you gotta do this, Rob? Come on, man.
I got Kingston Flemings going to the Nets at number 6, who I think is an athletic point guard, right? He's only 6'4", but, he's a guy that can jump out of the gym, too, and push the pace. Needs to improve his defensive game a little bit, though. Mikael Brown Jr., I think he played a 1 or 2. I got him going to Sacramento a 7. 8, I got Atlanta going Darius Cuff Jr., who I think could also be a steal in this draft, right? He could be a bigger Allen Iverson, right? He's like 6'3". So he's another guy that could be a sleeper in this draft.
Can I pause you right there, Rob?
Yeah.
I think he is uber dynamic. I'm just scared, man. I'm scared of the similarities with Trey as far as this.
He's bigger than Trey Young, man.
A smaller point guard. A smaller point guard. I hope he plays defense, man.
What's his
height?
I'm
scared. Huh?
6'3".
He said he's 6'3".
He said Charles Barkley just called the San Antonio Spurs the dumbest team in NBA.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Oh no! I knew
that was happening. You knew that was coming, man. He's not holding any punches. Rob, just
the dumbest basketball team in the history of civilization is what he said.
Man,
Duke wrote Wilt Chamberlain's still a top 10 scorer with playing only 13 seasons.
He's number 8, believe it or not. Yeah, he's not wrong.
Anytime you score 100 in a game, that's going to get you there. But Wilt has some seasons where he averaged 50 points a game. That's crazy.
That's just kind of unfair. He was. They say he
50 and 30.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of talent that he was playing against, but I give him his credit.
50 and 30.
Mm-hmm.
Fo.
There were some good centers in the league back then.
Moses 12. Fo.
The Moses Malone used to miss on purpose to pad his rebound stats.
100%, man. 100%, man. Oh man, that was so bad.
You played basketball. Remember that rebound drill you used to do?
Yeah.
You bounce off the backboard and just catch it. That's rebound. So just back to the draft, Rob. I hear what you're saying. I mean, I'm not saying I would totally hate that, but I'm just saying I'm scared because again, he's a smaller. I know you say he's bigger than Trey. I wouldn't be like totally upset. I'm just scared.
Bigger and stronger.
I'm just being honest. I wouldn't like totally hate that, because we need size. And ironically, Trey would help us beat the Knicks because we need another scorer. That's the funny thing about the whole situation. But again, I'm just being honest. I'm a little nervous because we just got out of a small point guard. So I'm just scared. But I would be mad. I'm just like. Mm-hmm. I actually like Mikael Brown as well, and I like my guys are Cameron Carr. Those are the guys I like, man. I figure out a way. Those are the guys I like. And Damar. Keep going. Sorry.
I got Keaton Wagler, shooting guard from Illinois, number 9.
He'd be our guy if he was there, by the way. If he was there, I think that's how we'd like. If he was there at 8, I think the Hawks would take him over A-Cup, honestly. But go ahead.
Wagler? He's a little taller.
Great shooter.
I just wonder if Wagler can get to the rack. Cuff can get to the rack.
Great shooter, though. Keep going.
Yeah. I got Braden Burry, shooting guard from Arizona, at number 10, going to Milwaukee. And so I'll skip around here a little bit. You mentioned OKC. I got him taking Dalen Swan, 6'9", small forward from Texas. And a very similar player, 17, 6'9", Alan Graves from Santa Clara at 17. What I like about Alan Graves, he's 6'9" and can handle the rock and almost be like a point forward kind of player. He's not going to be a 25, 30-point scorer, but he could be a guy that could run the offense and still be a 14, 15-point scorer. So he's an interesting prospect out of small school Santa Clara. He was actually only a 3-star recruit out of Ponchatoula, Louisiana. LSU didn't even recruit him. Went all the way out to Santa Clara and became a player. All right, and so it's a lot of times all about the right fit. I got Atlanta taking a true point guard at 23, Abuka Okori, guard from Stanford. He's a guy who's been really impressive in workouts and has really climbed draft boards as well. So a lot of scouts think he can be a starting point guard in the NBA. Maybe not as a rookie. I got Cam Carr going 21 to Detroit. Detroit needs another scorer to put with Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
I don't know. Detroit is a team to me that should be talking about getting Giannis too, right?
Yeah.
They need another star.
Yeah.
I'm not about to say Devin Booker. They need another star for Cade Cunningham. So if I'm Detroit, you got to be in that conversation too. You're the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. What's going to get you over that hump? They're a team to me that should be in that conversation as well, right? So that's what I have at the first round. Second round, I got the Hawks taking Ernest Uday Jr., center from Miami, 7-foot center out of Miami. More of a project. And I got my pals taking Aaron Ngrukma, guard from Tennessee State. Yeah, he's the guy that's on the
Wouldn't you just
rise.
come up with the weirdest name or the strangest sounding name, and that's what you're going to go with that guy, aren't you?
Well, hey, I don't name him.
I don't name them. You just pick them.
Yeah, want the best players.
Hey, Richard had a comment. Will Chamberlain went against Jabbar, Artis Gilmore, Reed, Baylor.
Later on in his career, I wasn't talking shit. I was just saying in the first half of his career, he was going to get some tomato cans. Let's be honest. So near the end, yes, but just saying, that's me. There's a center from Virginia. I do like Ugana Onesio from Virginia. I don't know if he's going to get to us, but 7 foot,
I got him going 37 to guess who?
Who?
Oklahoma City.
You got to be shitting me. They got Thomas Sober before at Georgetown, man. How many centers do y'all need, man? Come on.
They got the picks, man. I don't.
I'm giving you a hard time, man. It's
Their
like,
picks
man.
can do what they want with them, right?
Yeah. Well, they can't. What are they gonna do with all these players? Y'all got too many players. Too many picks.
Well, and that's the one. That's
he's
the
a sleeper. I
problem
agree with you, Andre. 7 foot tall, long arms. He's a sleeper in this draft for sure.
He's blocked a ton of shots too, man. So if you're going with, like I said, they're putting a lot of stuff out there as far as we want a guard, we want a center. I like Jaden Quinton too from Kentucky. I know his medicals are going to be a problem. We need like some more physicality and stuff like that too. I'd like to get some centers from the Blazers, but for some reason they keep drafting all the centers. But that's one other conversation.
I know it's like they're playing fantasy basketball.
100%. Hey Gary, do you think the Blazers would sign CJ McCollum back, or is he done with the Blazers, or no?
I don't know.
Interesting. I know he likes Atlanta.
It wouldn't surprise me. He's still got a lot of connections in the community. He's got a winery, and I'm sure that they would probably consider it.
Yeah. But
now,
I
don't know this new owner.
Fair.
He seems to be, what I hear, he seems to be kind of a tightwad.
Yeah.
Which I don't
totally opposite of Paul Allen.
I don't like the sound of that.
There's two players I want to talk about. Luigi Rob from Italy. Where do you have him
He's on the rise.
And then there's two guards that I like if we go big in the beginning, and there's a couple of centers I like. I do like Christian Anderson. I love Corey. I think he's going to be an outstanding player. I know Corey's I think 6'1", 6'2", if I'm not mistaken. So again, but he's got some.
He's a true point guard.
He's a true point guard quickness. I like his scoring mentality. That's like I said, you got to get big point guard, big somewhere in that kind of frame. Because I don't think there's any more point guards in the second half. The second round that I'm looking at. But again, there's a couple, but not who I'd like to see. But tell me about Luigi. Where do you have him going again? In the
I have him going number 30 to Dallas, right?
Okay.
And a little bit of a project too, but a lot of upside. A lot of upside to his game. He's a face-up big, someone who still has an opportunity to improve his defense, but he does have agility, which you like for at that size, right? But yeah, definitely guys on the rise. About 2 months ago, he was not considered a first-round pick. Now he is, so he's definitely impressed. I got him just sneaking in the first round at 30. Of course, he's from Italy. Christian Anderson, point guard from Texas Tech. I got him going 25 to the Lakers. So I have him going there. Then you're missing Jaden Quantas, and you mentioned it. The thing with him, ton of potential. He just hadn't been able to stay healthy. But he's still going to go in the first round because teams still believe if he's healthy, he could be a player. I have him going to Charlotte at 18.
There's a Hans Steinbach, I want to say, from Washington. I think that Miami was pretty high on him. I'm kind of curious if he's kind of in that area. I don't know where you had him going. That's a guy I'm pretty interested in because there are a lot of reports connecting him to Miami. That dude is just a flat out scorer, man.
I got him going 19 to Toronto right now.
Oh wow, you got him dropped it. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, he's 6'10", from Germany. Played at the University of Washington. I think he's a true power forward. He can score on the post. He can also step out and hit the 15, 20-footer as well. I think he'll be a player that extends his range to the three-point line in the NBA as well. Definitely has a lot of potential as well. I have him going 19 to Toronto right now.
Okay. What did you have? You had any things you were thinking about, Gary, over there, or what? Those are.
We have no draft picks. I could care less about this draft.
You're gonna like the first round for the Hawks. We don't want no part of this. Man.
Hey, you never know. The Blazers might trade a player and get back in it.
That's right. That could be. But for right now, I'll change my tune if that's the case.
I will say it feels like, Rob, it's a guard-heavy draft right now, if I'm not mistaken. For the up top, it's a good mix. I mean, like I said, I know you can kind of pick your, where you're kind of going to. But I'm kind of curious who comes out, especially after we talked about, the Jaden Brunsons of the world. There's a lot of value, I want to say, later on, too, as well. I mean, you still got your top four, and then there's going to be some value for sure, man. So it kind of fits, what you're looking for, too, as well, man. So I'm super
I'll tell you a big man who I think is a sleeper in this draft. Zuby Ejiofor from St. John's.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you're talking about a player, man, who a lot of energy, a lot of hustle, tremendous defensive player, improved his offensive game under Rick Pitino. Right now, I have him going 27 to Boston.
Nice.
But he's a big guy to watch in this draft. He's about 6'10", but he's a big to watch in this draft. I think he's a sleeper.
Nice.
Speaking of sleepers, I didn't like the president at the game the other day. I didn't like it there at all. You had to keep the fans around. You had to keep the fans away from the arena and all that stuff for security. Took away from what the city wanted to do around that. So they had to make other venues and other arrangements. I didn't like that. So I say keep the sleeper away from the games.
Yeah, it was. There's a lot of interesting commentary about. Well, he was a fan and blah blah blah. And you're like, you're a fan, then you still don't need to go because you inconvenience a lot of people. People had to get there 2 hours early. Not a lot of watch parties. Clearly, it messed up the energy of the game.
Were those real fans? The true diehard fans, like we're diehard fans for our teams. They're not in that arena. They can't afford it.
That's true.
The 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, whatever they're charging for the seats.
It does feel like
but
that.
They would have been outside
to watch parties. Yeah, you're not wrong.
They deserve that.
There was 7,000. They were going to take us some 4,000, 7,000. It's a little disappointing from that perspective, but you're not wrong, Gary. So anyway, I guess we missed JQ in his point. The show would have been even longer. I know we wanted to be quick, but we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, JQ just no shoulders.
He was like, "Yo, I'm not showing up, man. I'm gonna be drinking the nut now."
That was his idea to change it to 11:30.
He didn't want to be a part of the Gary Schaefer sports show tonight.
Well, yeah, man, you can give him a hard time tomorrow about that, Gary.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I didn't even wear a St. Louis Cardinals jersey. He said he wasn't gonna come on if I wore a Cardinals jersey.
That's hilarious. That's a nice jersey too. The Padres is classic. Okay, good stuff. Rob, I guess we'll set it up. Let's set up next week. I know it was a very abbreviated, show. We're kind of just, reeling from the game. That was interesting to say the least, man. So
I know Wednesdays and Thursday nights are usually better for JQ. I'm available both of those nights next week. So
sweet. Okay.
Yeah. So whatever y'all decide, we can make it happen.
Which is better for you, Dre?
Either way, I still have to host, trivia, so it doesn't matter if it's Wednesday.
on both of those nights.
Yeah, still. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, it's not. Well, normally it's 9:30. I get out 9:30 on Wednesday, and then it's like Thursday.
Let's shoot for Wednesday.
What do you think? Yeah. It's. I mean, Either way is fine, man. So yeah, I appreciate you, Richard, as always, man. So
Thank
And thank you, Richard. Thank you for joining my show.
yeah.
You guys
Oh,
are
man.
much.
He's not lying. He's not lying. Oh man.
Wow, the ratings are going through the roof right now, I'm sure.
Richard, we're doing fantastic. I think you were saying that you hate that he didn't play against. You think he played against some studs though, or what? I want to make sure that comment is on point. Yeah.
Well, I think there was some pretty good centers in the league back then. I mean, Jabbar, Bill Russell.
Well, Jabbar was later on, and Bill Russell was later on too, right?
No,
Yeah.
I mean,
Gilmore was
not
later
much later on.
I don't think Wilt played against Gilmore a lot.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like there was
Willis Reed probably, yes.
Oh, by the way, Gary ain't wearing pants. I'm not standing up.
It's like business up front, party at the bottom, Gary.
I'm not standing up. You guys win the show. So jealous.
Oh man, we can get some more ratings, Gary. Come on.
Let's do it.
No.
Oh man.
Richard, you're a fool.
Duke was hilarious. He sent me the picture of this lady that was DJing, and she was a lot. The reason why she was having a lot of fun because she had some things to show, and I'm like. He's like, Dre, you should be like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm never going to win that battle for sure, man. Yeah. If you're scantily clad, you can get away with anything. It's like, what song was she even playing? No one even knows.
Yeah, no one remembers that song. But everybody was dancing right around her.
Exactly. I'm like, man, what song was she playing? I don't know. I'm putting real work in over here. So everyone looks like we're going to get the show kicking on next Wednesday, if you will.
Yes.
And we'll have some more topics for Richard's show, if you will, or Gary's show. Excuse me. I'm
Richard show.
I'm looking at Richard's
Nice.
Post. Rob, let's set this up, man. I'm just having all that. What's time for me now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back at you on next Wednesday night. We know we have at least one more game in the NBA Finals. Will we make it to Game 6? I guess we'll find out on this Saturday night. So obviously when we're talking NBA draft, of course, right? Major League Baseball, college football, the latest on the Texas Tech drama, NFL OTAs. We're going to have a lot to talk about on next week, so you don't want to miss us. Next week, 11 p.m. Eastern Time for those of you all in Atlanta or New York City, Philadelphia area. And of course, those in the Central Time Zone, New Orleans, San Antonio, Chicago. That's going to be 10 p.m. JQ's not on, but his favorite city, Albuquerque, 9 p.m. Mountain. And then, of course, on the West Coast here in Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Portland, 8 p.m. next Wednesday night. Good night, people. Be blessed.
Good job. Gary Schaefer Show signing off, man. Appreciate you guys.
Good night, you fools.
So next week, have a great one. We love it.